taking back the crown. I'm all dressed up and naked. I see what's mine and take it. Keepers, losers, reapers. Oh yeah, the crown. So close I can taste it. I see what's mine and take it. Keepers, losers, reapers. Oh yeah.
Yo, what's going on, guys and bronies alike? This is the Ninja Reviewer here. Welcome to my review of My Little Pony Season 7, Episode 9 review, Honest Apple. Now, a lot of people probably really despise this episode and saying it's the worst episode, the worst episode of the actual season. I have to disagree with that. Now, I'm not saying this episode was perfect. It really wasn't perfect. Let's be real. Let me be clear here. I know it's not a perfect episode. It really is not a perfect episode, which I do get. But I'm not going to say this was a bad or horrible episode. I will get to the review, not the review, my score of the episode in a bit. So basically, it's a mix between a lot of really good things, a lot of fun things in between. So we had a lot of fun things in between, some things that might irk people, which surprisingly for me, I found one part pretty cringy, which was one part where Applejack just destroyed. Like, you can imagine somebody putting all that work, hold on one sec. Hold on. I can just imagine like how many hours that must have took when it comes to basically putting all those feathers together, like all those hours within that hat. So it's like, what the hell? Good. Anyways, so sorry, getting messages on Steam real quick, but anyways, so I just want to try to get this review out as much as I can. So when it comes to this episode, I will say Applejack's character, I know some people may not really like her character in this one because of the way she acted, of her brutal honesty. Now, I really do love the lesson to this episode. Like, I would say the ending, like, the lesson was very well done in this episode. It really was well done. I love the lesson because it says, like, there is a difference between taking, being, honest and just being a complete dick about it. Like, if you're just going to be brutally honest and actually not only that, but not really take everybody's opinion, like, as your own and basically, think that your opinion is better than everybody else's, then, that's basically the other half of the lesson that Applejack had to learn. It's like, look, maybe you don't have to be truly honest. As long as you're honest enough just to make the judging call, just don't do it to the extent where the way you actually use your words when you're actually judging and being honest, where you're being really honest, sometimes the words you say could really hurt. So you could be honest, but not so brutally honest that could make the other person look bad, and it kind of makes you look like an asshole. So I really did love the lesson, and not to mention, it also had another thing to do with opinions, where sometimes you just gotta take the opinions as it is. Everybody has them, and not everybody agrees with you. It's okay not to like something that nobody else likes, that's fine. So we never really had this lesson in MLP before, and I gotta say, it's a lesson that most online users should learn every single day. And I mean, this relates a lot to online, and I mean a lot when it comes to debates of opinions of any kind of media whatsoever. Yeah, it relates a lot. It really does. And honestly, it felt too real, especially with me, because I was pretty much like that myself. It reflected me of being an asshole back in the day, and it kind of made me feel like myself back then. How I was just like I was so honest with people that they would get hurt on some of the stuff that I would say, like using the whole brutal honesty system like Applejack was using. And because of that, I did hurt some people. I didn't mean to say it like that. I apologize. Maybe I should have basically not been too brutally honest and try, and also try to respect people's opinions, like especially with the whole respecting opinions thing. Because I remember way back in the day when I first did YouTube, like, I wasn't really perfect. Like, I couldn't handle it. Like, doing YouTube back then, like, I was way different back then compared to how I was now. I guess you could say pretty much I grew up. Even though it's weird because back then I was like, what, 19 or like 20 years old or whatever. I was pretty much the age of like 19 or 20, and like around that age, it's like, I don't know, I just wasn't really me. I was just like someone else. It's just like when I'm on YouTube, it's like I really can't believe I took everybody's opinion seriously. I was kind of like an asshole back in the day. I kind of was one of those like internet tough guys and like stuff like that. Well, kind of, sort of. But it's like I was such a complete different person back then. But of course, those videos aren't around anymore because if you recall, my original account was, hacked. And now I've been sticking with this account for over 6 years now. Wow. So I've been in this for about 6 years on this second channel. It's been about 6 years. Yeah, about a good 6 years in total when it comes to that as well. So yeah, I know it's getting off story here with this video, but moving on to the actual episode itself. So Rarity, pretty much the whole premise is that Rarity made Applejack a judge for this fashion costume contest, and what happens is that at first Applejack didn't really agree to this because fashion isn't her thing, and they already acknowledged this even way back, not even just season 1, but they even acknowledged this back in season 4, for God's sakes. When it comes to Simple Ways, even though I hated Simple Ways, it's the truth though. Like, yeah, fashion was never Applejack's thing. So the big mistake of this episode was making Applejack a judge, which I did not understand the premise of that. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, because she saw Apple Bloom wearing like a hat that I agree with, because that hat was kind of a little over the top for her to work, and it's just too much stuff, unnecessary stuff she puts on her hat. She can't see, she can't do the work right. Then when she fixes that up, Apple Bloom's like, oh, okay, cool, thanks, that was helpful. So yeah, so when it comes to that instincts, that's fine. It's just there were certain moments that are like, oh, Applejack, you need to get out more. I don't want to make any comments about like people from this. I really don't want to make comments like that, but you could tell Applejack is one of those simple hillbilly cowboy kind of ponies where she's like, she's a cowgirl, obviously. So obviously she's not, but it's like, oh, you poor thing. It's just like, like, no. It's so yeah, there were some of those moments, but there were some moments that were actually really good that made me laugh my ass off. Like, who would have thought Rarity can pull off a metal rock electric guitar? Well, even though it's not really electric guitar, it was the joke. How like the banjo was supposed to represent Rarity's stress, and she's playing like a metal solo. That was cool. I was expecting a song that would have been the most mellowest hype song. I would have rated this episode really, really high if you guys did that. It would have been so freaking awesome. But no, you cock tease me. You bullshit. God damn it. So that pissed me off a bit, but it was still a very cool scene. I actually really enjoyed it. I was laughing so hard, like, wow. Like, I really couldn't believe it. That was so cool. In fact, now it's so hard to avoid the spoilers for the Canadian spoiler episodes. I mean, the early episodes. That now it's a running meme now in the Brony community. It's like, shit, well, now you done goofed, so now everyone's going to probably jump on and watch the Canadian episodes now, and it's just like, oh my god. So, yeah, so that was that, and I really do like Inky Rose. Not relation to Ink Rose, that's for sure. And I thought she said Ink Rose as well. I'm like, you did that on purpose, didn't you? You had to do that on purpose because you know there's a person that's big in the community analysis, Ink Rose. I'm like, really? Because not related to Ink Rose, that one. Although maybe that was intentional? Maybe, I guess it was intentional for them to do that because maybe they know about Ink Rose. Listen, man, DHS and the peoples, they already know that the Brony fandom is really huge, and they know the analysis. They already know about Ink Rose, so it's quite obvious. Maybe it was a little tab, a little nudge, like, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe it kind of makes sense. But I like her gothic look. It's really cool. And I like the style that she did. There's this one pony, I forget her name. I hated her so much. Not hated her, I hated the what, like, oh my god, like, look at this, you guys. I want to make this, like, so, I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I thought Feather Bangs was bad, but oh my god. I would rather have Justin, alright, I hate to say this, but I would rather have the Justin Bieber pony impersonator than this whatever the hell this accent this bitch has. Because honestly, I don't know what the hell drugs they were on, but seriously, She's like the typical, like, oh my god, like, what the hell? Like, oh my god, is it air? I can't, like, ugh. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, yeah, her I didn't like. There was this dude who can see into the future, and I'm like, what? Who the hell are you? Like, something about, like, he could see beyond the future, and it's like, what? And it's like, he was kind of cool, I guess. He was kind of cool. I kind of liked him. For those new ponies, it was great to see Hoity Toity and Photo Finish again. That was a nice surprise. I was glad they were coming back, and the voices are still good. Their voices haven't changed one bit, and I do like how, like, Dr. Who's in them are, like, carrying them on, like, a fucking thing, and I'm like, oh, come on, like, you're so, like, famous, and, like, you have, like, really, you have all this money. That's slavery work. Are you kidding me? That's slavery. That's bullshit. That's fucking slaves, man. You're using Dr. Who's and I forget some other pony there, just carrying guys. Man, that's slavery, man. That's slave work. What's wrong with y'all? Like, seriously, like, come on. Like, honestly, like, can't you guys just, like, afford, like, these kind of, like pony carts or something where you guys can just, like, drive in, like, or, like, butlers or something that can, like, drive your, like now they were driving something without them just pushing you, carrying you on your freaking back, then yeah, but really, so yeah, Applejack in this episode, let's talk about that. There were some scenes where I'm just like, stop, like, it's time to stop, like, literally, I really meant, it's time to stop. I literally did, because there were certain scenes like that where I had to go like that, because it's like, oh my god, AJ, like, I get where you're coming from, you know, you're not really into this kind of thing, so it's like, yeah, so I can kind of understand that, I can kind of understand where you're coming from, but it's just, it just doesn't fit, and then all of a sudden she just starts to be like, oh, you know, like, I'm doing, like, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, hey, you know, look, I'm just trying to be honest, like you said, and look, I'm being honest. I'm not a big fan of fashion. I never was. I just think it's ridiculous. And if you, okay, I will admit when it comes to the other side, they shouldn't be so blunt about it. Like, I really think they should just, like, do Winter Woman. It's like, okay, then get the hell out, bitch. We don't care about you. But no. Apparently, it's just like, oh, screw you, and they leave. And then what happens is that AJ has to make things right. But Rarity has an idea on how she can actually fix all this. What happened was that she takes him to see some strawberry chick. I forget her name exactly, but whatever. And basically she says that, in my opinion, I like strawberries more than apples. I just think, in my own opinion, you know, apples are just disgusting. I just like, whatever, they're full of worms. And it's like, yeah. So Applejack is like, what? But we work so hard, we do all this. And the way she actually makes herself, dressed her Lobato, she's like, oh, well, I'm sorry you have to eat those wormful things all the time, and basically whatever. She doesn't really know the fact that Applejack and the family really do work hard. So yeah, she was kind of a cunt for that, but when it comes to Applejack, it's like, the way she got treated was the same way Applejack just got treated. Or actually, I'm sorry, the judges, you know, Hoity Toity and Photo Finish. And then it's like, oh, wow, shit. Now I feel like an asshole. So then pretty much she does everything right. The fashion show goes on. Inky Rose won, which I was actually really happy about. And then the ending, I have mixed feelings of, when it's like everybody's a winner. I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is, because I can understand it's Applejack. And again, she was honest. She couldn't decide because they were all really fantastically well. But to be fair, I think Inky Rose would have been the one to win. No, screw that. Inky Rose should have been the winner. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. It's something we see into some roles, technically in My Little Pony, so deal with it. In friendship games, though, I think in a situation like that, it's bullshit. But here, it's like, whatever, I can accept it. So, there you go. So, that's the episode. Overall, I really liked this episode. I'm going to give the episode a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a really good episode, because the thing was, I actually really enjoyed the elements. It was a lot of fun. It was very fun. It really was. It was enjoyable. I mean, I only had like a few complaints about the decision of Rarity making Applejack a judge in the first place, and Applejack in certain scenes kind of made me cringe a bit. But other than that, it's a 4 out of 5. Those are my only little complaints I do have about the episode. And the lesson was actually, and what holds this episode from being good, I could have dumbed it down and give it like a 3.5 to like a decent plus episode. Like, it's a mixed bag, so I was going to give it a 3.5. I mean, okay would be like a 3 for me, but it's not really okay. It was actually more than that. It was really fun, and it was really good episodes. So I'm going to give it a 4. Deal with it. Again, my opinion. So, yeah, I just thought it was a 4 out of 5. It's not really a bad episode like many people thought it was. And, yeah, I like the way how they brought this up on Applejack, and how she had to learn the lesson the hard way, which was very strong, which is why it boosts up to being a good episode. So what do you guys think in the comment section below? What do you think of the episode? Do you feel like this is the worst Applejack has been betrayed on? Do you think it's fun the way it is, the episode? Well, you know, all that stuff, you know, put down in the comments. I know many people, again, like many of the scene of the episode with opinions, let me know your opinions on it. Until then, that's basically it. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Don't forget to follow my online plugins, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, you already know, yada yada yada, my online gaming plugins, Steam, PSN, and Nintendo Network. Until then, peace, soul, love, chicken grease, and the sky's the limit. Anime manga fans, keep supporting what you read and what you watch. And bronies, bro hope, brony on. I'm really hyped for next Saturday though. For this Saturday. I should say this Saturday. For episode 10 and episode 11. Especially episode 10. Oh, I so cannot wait for that episode. I am so hyped. Let's go. I cannot wait for that. Then the following Saturday. Oh, yo! I am so ready for that. An early birthday gift to moi. So anyways, that's it. Again, bye-bye. See you all.